Okay, here he is, NFL analyst at ESPN. Ben, I hope that was right. It's embarrassing if it's not, but Hamilton's not here today, so it's all I got. I think I got the playoff.
Wow, you
So,
are flying like crazy. If there's no Matt here, that's something.
no Matt here. The puppet is not pulling the strings here today, but let's get into some of these storylines. I want to start with Philip Rivers. I started there
Mhm.
and went on a little rant about it. Why? Why now? I was thinking it's more about the Colts, and I promise you, people have been off the hook trying to pull him in to do a million things, and he's like, no, 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 no. He's very Andrew Luckish in that way. Like, I'm going to wait for the right opportunity. Is this right? Does this feel right to you?
I think it speaks to the Colts' desperation, right? It's one thing to end up on QB3 or QB4, right? We saw this in Minnesota. We see this in Cleveland now where they're getting like further down their quarterback depth charts. It's another thing for it to happen in the fashion which it's happened for the Colts here, right? Where you have such a good quarterback one start from Daniel Jones. He's 7-2. You're going to extend him. You're going to be one seed in the AFC. You're going to push for it. You make the Sauce Gardner trade, and literally like days later, everything starts to fall apart, right? Where you get the Jones fibula injury in practice, you get Sauce obviously gets hurt, DeForest Buckner has to go on IR. That's been a big hurt to their running game, and obviously if the offensive line starts to play a little bit worse, even when Jones is healthy, you could see that offense start to lose some of its steam. So it's been such a internally demoralizing way to go down the quarterback depth chart. We didn't even get to the way that quarterback 2 got hurt. Anthony Richardson freak accident with the eyeball, and then quarterback 3, Riley Leonard, who's just like doing his best out there. 6th-round rookie, first action. Oh my gosh, he hurts his knee when he was kind of playing okay against the Jaguars. It feels to me like it's how far they are mentally at the end of their rope. And you know this because you've spoken to Shane Steichen before. Anybody who's spoken to him knows. You could be like, Shane, how's the weather? And he'd be like, man, Philip Rivers once told me in 2008 the weather's great. Like
So true.
there's like he everything about him
Yeah.
as a coach and as a person, how he thinks about quarterbacks and offense, it is all filtered through his experience. Then in San Diego, coaching Philip Rivers, and so their relationship is so strong. I think that when Shane's in a pit like this, and he's in a hole, Philip's the guy he calls.
Really, really well said. Let's talk about last night, okay? Obviously,
Mhm.
ESPN, it's all over. It was an incredible game. And then Justin was just getting beat up left and right. It was crazy. Third straight loss for these Eagles. They're now 8-5, 4 picks
Mhm.
from Jalen Hurts, meaningful, weird interceptions. What is the biggest reason when you're watching this? Like, what was off with Jalen?
Yeah, so they don't know what they want to be on offense, which is a preposterous thing to say in the first week of December. But they're also the ones saying this, right? Like Lisa Salters had the pregame report. Saquon Barkley said it's not an identity crisis, but it's close. It is week 14 and they don't know what they want to be. And so all of a sudden you're throwing the ball over the middle of the field a little bit more, right? You heard Troy Aikman saying, this is a good concept. Like they got to do some more of this. Like Devontae Smith clear out, AJ Brown deep crosser. Like we've been looking for more of these. So they tried to pull levers and turn switches in the passing game that they don't typically do with Jalen, and that's because it's not Jalen's best area to throw the football. It's a little bit like Russell Wilson, right, where he's a shorter quarterback. He likes to scramble. Those guys tend not to be good throwing middle of the field. Typically, they just, all right, we'll run the ball, we'll throw our hitches and our flats and our go balls, and we'll be fine. But they're not dominant this year running the football, so they need more explosives out of the passing game. They tried to find those, and accordingly, you start to get some of the tip drill interceptions, right? It's why the middle of the field is hard to throw to, is because tight windows, batted balls, a lot of weird stuff happens, right? Like take the one that came off of AJ Brown's hands, got tipped
Right.
over the middle of the field. AJ should catch that football. That ball's also a little bit late there in the middle of the field. The window's closed very, 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 very tight, and because it's a little bit late, Jalen's throwing AJ into contact, and so AJ alligator arms it a little bit because he's worried about Denzel Perriman's going to take a shot at his ribs, right? That ball's up here, so it's a big target. And when he alligator
Right.
arms it, it tips up and then it gets caught. There's a lot unlucky that happens there, but that's one of the reasons why you're scared throwing to that area of the field, is because if you're late, bad things can happen.
What are the conversations about Jalen Hurts that are fair this morning?
A great question. I think it is really important that we not get too far over our skis with Jalen is X bad, Jalen is not this, Jalen is not that. We got too far over our skis the other direction after we win the Super Bowl. Like, oh, he's
True.
clearly top 8. How could he not be? He has a ring. It's like, that's not how quarterbacking works. It's not a wins position. It's got a lot more to it. But the quarterback on the other side of the ball had a 4-interception game against the Texans in the playoffs. Extremely embarrassing, nationally televised loss, tossed him out of the playoffs. And all of us film nerds over here who love Justin Herbert so much said, you can't, it's one game, 4 picks, unlucky stuff happened, don't get crazy about it. So when Jalen has a 4-pick game, the first of his career, 5 total turnovers, there's a temptation, especially because it was nationally televised in such a critical moment in the Eagles season. There is a temptation to say, man, we told you, this guy, we got too excited about him, and he's not a quarterback who you win because of. He's a win with guy. He's more of like a B tier guy. that still is true. He's an incomplete quarterback. Like to me, he's not a top 10 guy. But we can't take a quarterback who's on a historic pace to avoid interceptions this year, by the way, and immediately just rip him down the rankings off of 4 interception game, 2 of which were batted balls. Like you have to be able to take these things
That's
more
fair.
slowly and in stride and let some more games develop. So he's
That
not top
he's
10.
not top
Yeah.
10 to you. I'm trying to think. If I do like Stafford, of
Oh
course.
yeah, never has been.
So Stafford loved, even just in the NFC. Stafford.
Oh, NFC, yeah. I mean, like I think that you trust
Stafford loved
Love,
Baker.
Goff. Baker this year's been rough, Kay. I mean, like I understand he's probably hurt and banged
Goff.
up. There's that stretch he wasn't running, but Baker, I don't know. Baker's been
So
very
where are we
difficult this year.
slotting? Are we slotting him like post Purdy? Or like you love Caleb? Oh my gosh!
Yes, I
Listening
do.
to you talk about Caleb, it's unbelievable. Do you like him more than? Do you like Caleb more than Jalen? No way.
Yeah, yeah.
What? Why? What's
Yeah.
that argument?
Caleb can make throws, right? I like Jalen. We have one throw that Jalen gets very consistently, which is that deep vertical ball, right? That go ball to AJ Brown. He could drop it in a bucket. But other than that, like Jalen's arm talent is pretty limiting to what the Eagles do on offense, right? If you go and you look at what the Eagles have been offensively in the passing game under 4 offensive coordinators now, right? Shane Steichen into Brian Johnson, into Kellen Moore, into Kevin Patullo. A lot of hitches, a lot of flat routes, a lot of RPOs, throwing around the numbers, right outside of the hashes, then 0 to 9 yards area of the field. Jalen also, he can scramble, he can tuck and run. Jalen's not good throwing on the move because he's a tighter athlete. He's a big, bulky body. And when we throw on the move, you need to be loose. You got to have a lot of mobility and the ability to snap those hips. So he doesn't throw well when he's running, especially to his left, right? And this is one of the things, if you watch the way the Bucs have always played him, he's been terrible against Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles always flushes him out to his left because he knows that he can't kill him there throwing on the move. Caleb's physical tools as a passer dramatically exceed that which Jalen Hurts has at his disposal. Now, Jalen's done such a wonderful job in the NFL, working around his deficiencies, getting so much better in areas like situational management, right? He's usually really good, like I said, at avoiding turnovers. He is a great scrambler, so on and so forth. But if you wanted to start a team right now and build a complete passing game, you have to do it with a guy of Caleb Williams' arm and all the throws at his disposal, has all the arrows in his quiver, all the clubs in his golf bag in a way that Jalen Hurts doesn't.
It's so interesting. Mike Singletary was on my show to preview Bears Packers, and when he was talking about Caleb, and he gave Caleb credit before he gave Ben did, and he sort of harped on something that's like so trite and obvious, but like just that he's a willing learner.
Yeah.
Caleb, and I'm not saying this isn't about Jalen, but I was like, yeah, it's like it's kind of true. Like Caleb has to be willing to put up with to adapt, to learn, to want to like the Ben Johnson intensity of all of it. Like, and I thought it was like really low, like obviously, but it just struck me as like, yeah, like maybe we should give credit to Caleb for being this willing learner who isn't just like resting on the fact that he can Mahomes it out of the pocket and make some magic happen like he did a lot at USC. It's kind of nice to see.
Yeah, I agree with the Hall of Famer, man. Like it is there. Someone decided in the pre-snap process that Caleb was too arrogant to be like a good, obedient franchise quarterback who says the right things. Like somebody made that call in March coming out, and people talk to people who are closer to Caleb. I don't talk to a lot of these guys. Like I'm not going to know these things. So you have to listen to them a little bit. But from the day Caleb's come into the building, I mean, that Bears team was dysfunctional as a rookie, and he was out there just kind of chopping wood, doing his best. He clearly would get frustrated. Right. He wasn't like, a total robot out there, but he was doing his best to be the guy who he was built to be. This Ben Johnson, like you brought up, like Johnson, whom I think is incredible, I love dearly, is an extremely intense dude and very hypercritical. Yeah, and to have been a number 1 overall quarterback recruit, ordained prince that was promised for years, and then to get that guy as a coach can be a confidence hit and an ego shot that ruins a guy. And Caleb is blossoming instead. And to me, that's a huge testament to his humility, to his willingness to learn. And while it has not been perfect, and the coach out there saying that we need to be better in the passing game. As of last week, he was saying that Caleb gets better week over week, and to the point now where again, like I would, if you were giving me the young quarterbacks last 5 years, so include the Trevor Lawrences and include the who else came, Kenny Pickett, I guess in 22, but since 2021, of all of those young guys, I would take Drake May first. Caleb, I'm probably taking second. CJ Stroud.
He also doesn't have like close. All pro. Like I love DeAndre Swift. They're really like Ben's getting the most out of them, which isn't like he doesn't have a Heisman winner to throw to. He doesn't have like I love DJ Moore, perennial 1,000-yard receiver. I love that the talent with like Rome or whatever. But I do think like they're really getting a lot out of this experience. They don't have a baked in Jamar T situation. Not to comp
Yeah.
like that, but it is the thing, and they'll be able to of course add. And they just like obviously did their thing with the O line. We're gonna take a short break here. We are on YouTube. I want to know who's a threat to the Rams in the NFC. We'll talk to Ben
Mhm.
Solak through the YouTube break, of course, right after this, and busting with the boys on the TV side after that. Ben, who could take them out? They're so annoying to. I bet. Do you like watching the Rams? I'm like, and I love Devon. Puka's so fun, but I'm like every drive it's Puka. It's like they can't. There's no like perfection to me. I don't know how much I love that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what is the worst part about watching the Rams is trying to figure out if
What?
it's Kyron Williams or Blake Corum in the backfield because they're 23 and
Oh,
22 and they're both like 5'9" and they look exactly the same and they've gotten so good at running the football. They are having the second best season of the last 20 years in terms of rushing success rate, right? Just generating positive plays. You know who's first the last 20 years? The
who?
2018 Rams. The Rams that went to the Super Bowl under Sean McVay, went to the Patriots, got beat by the Patriots. But it's the two best rushing attacks that we've
Who
seen in
was
the last two
that?
decades.
Who were the running backs in that
It
one?
was
Why can't
Gurley. So Gurley
that was
had
Todd Gurley.
yeah, Gurley had Offensive Player of the Year 2017, and then 2018 he had like 20 scrimmage touchdowns. He was a little bit
Yeah.
less like like rushing yardage wise, but 2017, 2018 was when Gurley was just like, oh my god, like, we're never gonna we just cannot stop this thrashing machine of an offense. And then they finally ran into Bill Belichick and the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
Most
I do
boring
think
Super Bowl of all time.
yes, I do
Sorry.
think that the Seahawks are still the best anti-Rams team. They lost again.
Okay.
Talk about four interception games.
Wow.
Sam threw four picks. They lost. They lost on a missed field goal at the end of the game. Right? You tell
Let's see
Sam,
the
hey, just
standings, Richard.
yeah, just throw
Sorry.
three picks next time and we can beat them. Right? That game that Mike McDonald's defense, that Seattle defense had against Stafford. Stafford averaged 4.9 yards per attempt. It's the lowest
Okay.
passing yards per attempt he's had in any game with the Rams his entire career. Like McDonald's defense is very well catered to what the Rams want to do best in the passing game. And so to me, that I think it's week 16 with a rematch, that game's going to tell us everything. Because if Sam can handle that pass rush, have just an average Sam game, Seahawks defense is good enough to beat the Rams. And they split 1-1. I think that's going to be your two-horse race in the NFC.
Love that. AFC, no one loves the Texans defense more than you. We have like 12 seconds, but hearing you talk, you just become a different person. My producer, Cal Filson's like this too. They're uncomfortable. Could they go all the way? Quick.
Yep. There's analytics and there's stats and there's EPA and there's matchups and then there's
Yeah.
just teams that terrify the guys opposite them,
Yeah.
right? It's just you start game planning for the Texans on a Monday, your butthole clenches up. Like it is just 7 days of pain, dude. It sucks to play that team, and I love that they saw that physicality in 2025. They're a delight to watch.
You're a delight to watch. Love that. I don't want to know who your Super Bowl pick is. You wrote like some crazy manifesto for week 4. I started reading it this morning and I was like, I need a coffee. I need a
Too
matcha.
early. Yeah, I'll read it
I
later.
know. I just need 12 hours to. It's so comprehensive and amazing. Please, guys, go read every word. Get smarter today. ESPN.com. Ben Solak, appreciate you and that new column. Great work.
Thank you, Kay.